Hello everyone, Jim Bob here, 7 Days to Die, 7 Beta 1. I'm not too sure I like it, I'll be honest. At first I thought I was going to love everything, and I went onto the forums and I started reading comments. And I thought everybody was whining. I thought there was a bunch of whiny crybabies. They didn't want all their easy ways of doing things taken away. But when I started doing this, trying to put together an episode about 4 hours ago, that's an exaggeration, but pretty close to that actually, I found out that they basically had a right to complain. To put it simply, they had a point. That's what I was looking for. They had a point. And their point was that 6 Beta 4 was more fun and more balanced to play and was an awesome zombie survival experience, whereas this one doesn't feel like that. And they do have a point. Everything you do now takes extra time, and that in itself is annoying, but everything makes noise now. Every single thing you do makes noise, and the detection system and the stealth system I think are at the core of this issue. And and let me explain why that is. Let's find something that looks like a wall. Let's go back to the car. I've got too many zombies on me. Okay, we're at the car and we're crouched down. We'll pretend that's a wall, and we'll pretend that they're directly on the other side of this wall are a bunch of bad guys. Soldiers, whatever. You've played games like this before. So you're like peeking around the wall, you see the soldiers and you think, oh geez, how am I going to get past them? Let's look at my inventory. Well, guess what? Bang, you're dead. Why? Because opening your inventory makes noise, and that zombie heard me open my inventory. So that is a huge problem, that you're not even safe opening your inventory. That needs to be free of sound. You can't plan, you can't say, okay, I'm gonna put this together, make this trap, set this, maybe throw a Molotov cocktail over there, throw a stone over there. You can't make a plan because you can't access your inventory. The second you do, they hear you on the other side of the wall and basically pounce on you and you're dead. It's not an exaggeration, it's the kind of thing that would happen. So I think that needs to change. Because currently zombies are spawning at 10 times the amount. So they're everywhere. Look at on my mini-map, all those green and red dots. Those are all zombies. I mean, this is daytime. And there's this many zombies out already. And they're all headed towards me, because for some reason they could hear me. And if I run like this, they could all hear me, and there's a chance that a zombie horde will spawn, because I'm making too much noise. Now, you think, well, okay, that means you have to be sneaky. You gotta sneak everywhere, you gotta crouch everywhere. So you've gotta make less noise, but that really doesn't help. The second you come up on a car and you want to search the car, you're gonna make noise. You can't avoid it. If you open the trunk of the car, it will automatically make noise. Even if you're crouched, even if you're using the most silent options, it'll make noise. And 9 times out of 10, there's zombie dogs around it, so you can't even get close to the car and you get attacked by dogs. And it's not just one pair of dogs, you'll get attacked by 2 or 3 pairs of dogs. So it's an increase in the spawning of zombies, an increase of zombies during the daylight, and a zombie detection system that is overly sensitive. Zombies can detect you very, very easily now. Whereas I think their intention was to make it so that people had more options. You had the option to find ways to do things more stealthy. And in order to really give you that option, they had to give the zombies the ability to actually detect you. And they had to make noise. Like, or you had to make noise so that they could detect you. So I think all the intentions were pure, all the intentions were good. But right now it's overly sensitive. So I think people have a point. They have a right to complain about a few things. The inventory thing, I think that's kind of ridiculous. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's not supposed to do that, but I'm thinking the zipper sound makes it sound like it actually is supposed to be like that, and that doesn't need to be. There's a lot of things you could turn off in your options, in your menu. You could turn off the craft timer, you could turn off the loot timer and turn that back to normal. You could make it so if you die, you don't drop everything. It goes back to the way it was, where you just lose your hotbar. So you can change a lot of the options back to the way they were. And I think that's good, but your default options, I think, the way things are set up, are more expert mode. They're the kind of options you add when you want to push yourself to the limit. And not what the average person who's looking at the game and thinking of trying it out is going to want to play on. They're going to try and play the game, and they're going to be overwhelmed at how difficult it is, and they're just not going to purchase your game. They're not going to recommend your game. So I think some more tweaking has to take place. This is beta, so all of this can change. But I think as far as recommendations go to people who are thinking of recommending this to friends, or my recommendation to people to play it, is stick with beta 6.4 for now. Don't go to 7.1. It looks better. The land is nice and flat. If you build a structure, it'll be a nice structure. It won't be all wavy and look like it's half melted. There are a lot of really good things in this. The lighting, the shadows, it all looks really good. Although, why this? Why, when I crouch, does my vision dim? I mean, honestly, that makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. But that aside, I would say right now, Beta 6.4 is probably the best one. If you've got that, I wouldn't recommend you update right now, because it's very unbalanced, and you have to change a lot of menu options to get things to work. Your worlds won't load anyways, so wait until they get this dealt with. Wait till they fix some of these problems. When they made 7.0, they didn't put the menu options to change any of these timers or get rid of them, and they've already added menu items to get rid of them. But I think I would like to see them tweak the system a little bit more, because right now it's very difficult. If you're an expert player, I mean, you might think it's great. But yeah, I think even an expert player would expect to open their inventory and not alert all their enemies. That's my biggest sticking point. I mean, I honestly can't believe that. I really can't. I don't know why. So, my recommendation, stick with beta 6.4. Don't go for 7.1 quite yet. Let them get a few versions out, see if they balance things a bit, see if they back off on some of the spawning, see if they back off on some of the things that can cause noise. It'd be nice to be able to search items without making noise. And it'd be nice to be able to actually search cars during the day and not have the day as hazardous as the night. Yes, the night is more hazardous because the zombies move faster, but it doesn't seem that there's a drastic decrease in zombies during the day. They spawn all over the place now. They no longer spawn just in the dark. They spawn everywhere. And there's, like, look at out here. There's not enough out there as far as structures and things to search and things to hide behind. I mean, what are you going to hide behind there? All these cactuses and stuff? There's no real cover system right now. They don't seem to... If you break their line of sight, they seem to still be able to hear through walls, so they still are able to tell exactly where you are, even if you're not making noise. If they knew where you were to start, you can hide behind a dozen walls and change your position. They'll still know where you are, even though you're not really making noise. So I think a few things need to change. And it's really weird for me to say that, because I'm a huge fan of this game. I think it has a lot of potential. I think they'll iron these bugs out. But yeah, stick with 6.4 for now. You're going to have a lot more fun, I think, in the near future. So those are my thoughts on the game. I hope I didn't bore anyone too much by going over and over and over about this. So I'm Jim Bob, and I shall see you later.